very much. More on that in just a moment. First, welcome back to Friday's show with Yasmin Ali Brown, Kieran Bracken and the lovely Ashley Brooks. To come this fine day, we're asking what's wrong with drugging tots to get them to sleep on long-haul flights or indeed short-haul flights. Or indeed any time of the day, any place, anywhere. 0207 173 5555 is the number, whatever you're feeling. But first, it's over to you, Ashley, for the headlines. What have you got for us first?
Well, first I have BBC chief refuses to ban Thatcher death song.
Okay.
So that seems to be a big topic.
Yeah, this is Ding Dong the Witch is Gone.
Ding Dong the Witch is Dead, and I just read here it's sold 20,000 copies over the last week.
Well, when we did this as a phone-in yesterday, and when we did it then, it was number 10 in the charts. It's now risen up to number 4 in the charts.
Oh, 4?
Yeah, yeah. So
wow.
it's still moving up. So, and with all the hype it's getting, it may get to number 1. Because the campaign, I mean, this is the thing we found out yesterday. I just assumed this had happened since Margaret Thatcher died on Monday, but the Facebook campaign to get this record to number 1 was actually started in 2007, long before Margaret had died. So
now it's actually building some momentum.
I think they're saying that. I mean, they're saying they're going to leave it to a chap called Ben Cooper, who's the Radio 1 head of Radio 1. Yeah. He's a good guy, Ben. And
Ben Cooper.
I can understand lots of people feeling very uncomfortable about the bad taste of the record, but equally, you know, if people are buying it, it doesn't say anything about Margaret Thatcher directly. If people are buying it, it's only 50-odd seconds long.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd all just do better just to ignore it.
So what are they saying? Are they going for we're going to play it?
Sounds like they will.
I think it's the only thing they could do.
Well, every
really.
other record they banned blows up in their face at some point.
It's the only thing they could do.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think banning things in a free country is necessarily a good idea.
No. And how long did you say? 50 seconds?
50 seconds.
So it's 50
going to be one of the
seconds. For those who don't like it, grit your teeth and get it over with.
Well, there you go. Maybe.
All right.
Okay,
so move on.
Next one.
Is kitty app ripoffs probed by watchdogs.
So this is in the Sun, the current one. Yeah.
Yes. So what they're saying here is that these apps are targeting children. So I've seen them before. You can just click away, and if you're wanting to buy flowers or milk from your little store or something, and it costs you real money to keep buying these things.
And the kids don't fully understand that.
Yeah.
Or so they say.
Yes. And I thought it was funny. It says here that the apps trick kids into paying hundreds of pounds for extra.
I can see Kieran's having palpitations here. Is it up to yours?
I've got a 4-year-old, right, little Lachlan, who's probably watching. And if you're watching, stop buying those things. But what it'll be like milk, you go, buy. And I'll be looking at it, and then it'll say, confirm, confirm. Look, £5.80. Lachlan, what are you doing? He's like, Daddy, I got milk. And it's wrong, so I'm glad they're looking at it.
I know they are, yeah.
I mean, there's some of the stories recently, within the last few months, of bills of thousands of pounds that children have run up with no idea.
We've had this in Australia as well. It's been happening. It's a global crisis. So, all these kids send them in?
No, it's just so that they can feed a baby or something. Yeah, it's not real. It's just
But you pay with real money, not virtual money, which is the irony.
Virtual products, real money.
Okay.
So what's your kids? What's the? Oh, this one is a good one. I'm not sure of your papers. I'm sorry. I'm not sure which this is. What this is
that
in.
Looks like the Express.
Is it here? Oh, here. Yes, the Express. So, Honeymoon Bride arrives home to be told your husband has stolen a fortune from us.
Uh-oh. So what's the chap done?
So they went off and got married, and then she came back to find that he'd stolen quite a large sum from, I think, her family's business.
To pay for... do we know whether he paid for any of the wedding stuff out of it? Because isn't it the bride's father that's supposed to pay? Oh. Taking a very harsh line on this story.
Steal it to pay for it.
I was going to say, I have a feeling she didn't benefit from any of this. Yeah. But imagine that.
Yes. Not a happy start. Do we know whether they're still together? Is the marriage going to survive?
No, it's over.
Is it over? Okay.
It's taken... No, it was a little while. It says here, I've bumped into him in town since we came back from our honeymoon, but I've moved on. I'm not bitter or angry about what happened, but it took her 2 years to get over it.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Poor thing.
Okay, anything else?
All right, so where are we now? We've got the Star. Oh, this is your shoplifter.
That's another Express one.
Oh, this is Express, sorry. Shoplifter is jailed for 340 seconds theft.
I mean, we're having... I mean, the question... I mean, you sit there and think, what can you do with somebody like that?
But I kind of think, you know, if I was the police, by probably the 15th time, I'd be going, you probably need something a bit more severe than what we're doing. Like, you know, the saying, fool me once.
I mean, he's been tugged, though. He's been tugged for over 300 times, so that, you know, the police have got to him. But he just continually and consistently...
He's not very good, is he?
Well, he's obviously not very good. That's one thing that shop keepers can be grateful for. But
he needs a new job.
I just think if you were running the Ministry of Justice in this country, and it's a problem that lots of law-abiding citizens wrestle with, what do you do with someone?
Don't the Americans have a strike?
3 strikes and you're out.
I think that's
but you couldn't lock someone up forever. For shoplifting.
Pizza.
Yeah.
There's a chap in prison for life for...
Bring back the stocks.
No, what they should do with this guy is give him a job in a big store and give him a bonus for every shoplifter he stops.
No,
Turn it into a positive thing. He knows all the tricks.
But he's not a very good shoplifter.
Yeah.
So what? He's got better use of his life than...
It's just so depressing, it really is. One last one from you? Oh, you got the bras. Excellent.
I find this one quite interesting. Burn your bras, girls. They are useless.
What are bras supposed to do?
Well, bras are designed...
Oh, yeah, I've asked the question.
They're designed to, you know, support, lift, add, I don't know, whatever.
Support, lift, add, and are they supposed to stop sagging?
Yes.
Right.
That's what we were all told, right?
Right.
Stop sagging. But this says that the scientists have spent 15 years studying breasts and found that well-endowed ladies would be better off without support, and it even says that it could increase perkiness.
Yeah, they found
without
that...
a bra.
I'm with that. I think we should get rid of bras.
I hate the wretched things.
It's interesting, it was a male doctor and he took 15 years to do this study.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
some say that female doctors could have done it in 6 weeks, but there we go. He found that for younger women, if you threw away your bras, that within 12 months you can see your breasts become more perky, but it doesn't work for older women or indeed older men, because I'm thinking about getting a trainer bra myself.
It goes against everything we've been taught, though,
In the Daily Mail yesterday online, they had an even better story, which was about underwired bras, and it was warning your bra could kill you.
Oh, God.
And they found that people who like walking... Hello. That's most of us, I should think. People who like walking, who wear underwear bras, their health is at risk. How many people have dropped dead as a result of walking with an underwear bra?
Exactly, yeah. Let's do a study on that. Do you know, I think it's quite, you know, maybe it is a marketing thing.
Are you tempted to follow this doctor's advice?
Well, see, I like going into, I like conspiracies and things, so maybe the bra is a conspiracy and it's all down to marketing, they want money.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what this guy was going for.
But are you going to take your bra off? I mean, I don't mean that in a rude, personal way now, obviously.
It was Howard Hughes who invented the bra.
Was it?
After designing his aeroplanes, he invented the bra. Yeah. And now Maasai women have to wear them. You know, there we are.
OK, nicely done, Ashley. What have you got for us, Kieran?
OK, first two from the Telegraph. Nick Clegg says...
Who?
Nick Clegg.
Sorry, sort of mentioned.
Drinkers who end up in casualties should pay for treatment, which I think we all would agree with, especially at weekends. You go to the hospitals and half the people are there are drunk or
What about the other half are rugby players, aren't they?
No.
At least smokers and drinkers are paying extra taxes. Rugby players don't pay anything. You just get hurt and then clog up our hospitals.
Well, no, because we're not drunk. Well, some of us are drunk. No, what I will say is, if you go to a hospital, when I was a student, I went to hospital with a couple of people who had sort of banged their heads and were drunk, and they were sort of moved on short thrift. They weren't treated very well. Quite rightly, because it stunk of alcohol. It's like, you know, the only thing
I thought alcoholism was a disease.
OK, yes, it is.
So surely that people with disease need special treatment, whereas healthy rugby players...
You're not going to let me finish.
Irresponsible games and bash themselves about.
I agree. That what I'm saying is the general punter who goes out, gets drunk, should be footing the bill for their own actions.
It's a very dangerous thing to say, because then you're going to say fat people should go if it's a fat-related thing. Women, perhaps, who've chosen to have babies and they have gynae problems, maybe they should pay because they didn't have to have kids. You know, either it's a health service free at the point of delivery to all, as it was set up, or it is not.
OK, in certain circumstances. Is that all right? Can I move on?
It's just these
certain circumstances, I think, if you are proven to have gone out intentionally drank, knowing that you'll probably end up in hospital, then you should probably foot the bill.
Really?
How does that sound? Is that
no,
diplomatic or not?
Either it's free to all or not. I think that is, and you can't start picking and choosing. Because if you say to somebody who's hugely overweight, you know, you're not taking medical advice, you're not slimming down, but if you speak to people who are hugely overweight or have battled that thing, they'll tell you it's, you know, it's a huge mental issue for them to overcome, a mental health issue for them to overcome. And you can't start slapping fines, or essentially, or making people pay for things that is part of a health struggle. I would suggest.
Well put.
And also, smokers and drinkers pay more in tax than non-smokers and non-drinkers. You could argue that smokers, when they arrive at hospital, should come in gold-plated wheelchairs. They have paid so much more than everybody else.
I can see that.
Yeah?
I'm converted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good point.
OK, well, staying on alcohol, still in the Telegraph, pubs demand minimum alcohol price. Now,
in supermarkets.
In supermarkets, what they want to do is they want to up the price in supermarkets because we have a big problem. I don't know if you have it in Australia, but in the UK, we have a lot of binge drinkers. So what people do is they'll go to...
I'm from Australia.
Yeah,
No, I
we
get
probably
it.
taught you, but here what they would do is kids would go out to supermarkets, get someone to buy it who's
and middle-aged people.
Maybe.
And older people.
Absolutely. We'll go and drink a lot, then go to the pub and have one pint.
Yeah.
And party and dance there. So basically the pubs, who are under a lot of pressure these days, I mean there's so many taxes put on them. Lots of my friends, their pubs have been closed down because so much business rates going up and up. The tax on beer is
make any money.
It's impossible to make any money, and what they want to do is they want to make it a minimum sort of price in the supermarket.
But David Cameron, who was really keen on the idea, a month ago said, oh, I've changed my mind now. Nothing to do with the drinks lobby probably getting on his back. It was so he's backed away from it. And I think there's another side to it, which pubs are good places for people to drink. You have a landlord who's legally responsible.
Controlled environment.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't understand. So are you encouraging...
Well, let's put it this way. A pint in a pub in central London, I know, one pub I paid £4.20 for a pint of real ale.
Yeah.
You could buy a can of super strength lager in a shop for a quarter of that price. So you could drink 4 times as much and then go rampaging around town rather than sitting in a pub and having a civilised pint in a controlled environment. And as
the pubs are hoping that people will now go to the pubs and pay more price because the price in the supermarket is quite high. It's a bit higher, so that they'd rather go to the pub and drink with the mates. But well,
anyway, good luck with the landlord. To the landlords, I say.
OK, now this one is not a very nice story. It's in the Daily Mail. Secret wife weeps as Catholic priest is jailed for sex attack on parishioner.
Well, that's not at all, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's. I mean, I'm Catholic, and I have to say I do get embarrassed when I read these stories. The Catholic priest secretly abroad married this lady.
While he had been, after he'd been ordained?
Absolutely, after he'd been ordained. And he, you know, he's 6 months jailed for attacking a young girl. When I say attacking, well, for inappropriate behaviour. So he's jailed for 6 months. It's interesting, I'm Catholic, and I have not christened my kids. And yes, and to the sort of, my parents, very Irish Catholics, are kind of, you know, they don't like it, but, you know, I have to, you know...
Why?
When I was younger, there were priests who were a bit inappropriate, and I won't go into it for legal reasons, but I kind of felt that from then on, I was very anti-religion, very anti-Catholic, and I kind of felt that, you know, that when you read stories like this, the amount of damage that they can do, as opposed to the... I'd say most of them are, you know, good people.
I mean, if a rogue priest... And this chap sounds like a rogue priest is one thing.
Yes.
The problem, ultimately, I think what you're alluding is when there's cover-ups and it's endemic and systemic.
That is the problem with the Catholic Church. There are cover-ups all over it.
OK, let's rattle through
quickly. OK, so great news. They think it's ball over. It is now in the Daily Mirror. Great that the...
Is this good? Is it good?
It is great.
I mean,
do you not remember Frank Lampard when it was against Germany in the last World Cup? It would have helped. Probably. We would have won.
Yeah.
We would have beaten Germany.
But
we would have won the World Cup.
That came
so much anger.
The
ball now in the Premiership matches we can decide. It's too hard on some of the linesmen and the referees. So that's great news.
It's Premier League, isn't it?
It is the Premier League. Yes, and I think it will catch on around the world. OK, finally.
British company as well, Hawkeye, which I didn't know. It's a British company that specialises in the technology.
Oh, it's good for us then. Jobs, it's great. OK, finally, which is in The Sun, which is, it's rugby. Sevens is a sort of a new sport that's going really, really well. It's going to be the next Olympics. And the new kit that they have devised, they're calling it Swing Low in Day Glow. It's in Day Glow. I don't know whether it's to sort of like glare at the opposition so they can't tackle them.
That's
do you know what? It
bizarre.
does look very bizarre. Maybe they're hoping for the lights to go down a little bit and they'll be luminous so they can see each other.
I mean, I like the T-shirt on the left. It just doesn't look like a rugby shirt.
Compared to, you know, the kit from years ago, it was just, you know, very traditional with collars and very heavy, which I used to wear. But wearing the tighter kit was, you know, was just better. But now this is just a bit bizarre, really. Might lighten up the pitch, you know, which would be good. Need sunglasses, exactly.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Kieran. Come on then, Yasmin, what do you have for us, please?
Well, it's this very serious situation that has been revealed at Mid-Staff's hospital during, you know, all these needless deaths of hundreds of people. I think it was thousands it went up to.
1,200.
And there's a story in the Daily Mail of one victim, Gillian Astbury, who was a diabetic. And she was admitted in 2007, and she had terrible care, including not just with food and drink and all of that, not getting adequate sustenance, but, you know, there was an entire nursing team who had not read her medical notes and didn't realize that she was a diabetic. Well, now there is a move to see if there might be criminal prosecutions of those.
I kind of feel that something needs to be heard in court about this so that people can get a proper handle on it. Yeah. Because it's just comes
it's very unfair to all the very wonderful people in the National Health Service who really do such amazing work. But we have these situations in some places where a culture of indifference and inefficiency seems to develop. So that's an ongoing story. You know, it's incredibly distressing for the families, really. Now, this is we talked about the emo attacks and the, you know, the
goth hate crimes.
Yes, that there was a move to extend hate crimes to other groups.
Yeah, so it wouldn't just be sort of
and
sex
apparently,
hate crimes
according
or race
to the
hate
Telegraph, an attack on a 16-year-old emo has led to the first arrest in Greater Manchester. A 14-year-old boy and a 44-year-old man were arrested on suspicion of assault and have been bailed.
So having an arrest come so quickly, although of course arrest is different from charge and process, but having an arrest come so quickly perhaps underlines the fact that maybe people who choose to look different from the crowd do need more protection.
Well, I think why I completely approve of it is that for years people have thought, you know, there's a law to protect the blacks and the women, and what about me, and actually extending it to groups, making people feel this law is for me as it is for other people, it protects us all, is a good thing, I think. Daily Mirror, airbags in 3 million cars could explode, and I think most of them, or all of them, are Japanese cars.
Yes, they are.
And I have a Japanese car, but it's not on this list.
Okay, I mean, it's millions worldwide, it's 150,000 in the UK.
Yeah, and I think they're recalling
Have you had your letter yet? Are you going to go? Because I think they send letters out, don't they?
Yeah, but mine is, I've got a little micro, and that's not on the list, but I think it's quite a scary story, really.
Well, I mean, it's a scary story, but then they've at least identified a fault and can recall.
Yeah, oh, they're very good at that.
Yeah,
and one of their spokesmen, the Toyota guy, says the airbags are defective, and they want to do something about it. Yeah. So it's kind of more public information, this one.
I guess so.
Now, Monty Don, you know, the much adored, much loved gardener, is in a little bit of trouble because he said in a recent episode of Gardener's World that people shouldn't hurry to plant their spring plants.
Because of the weather, presumably.
And so people didn't, and so all these plants were left in garden centres, unwanted, unadopted, unfostered.
There was an advert on TV last night for hay fever medicine. I thought, oh, you've gone a little bit premature, haven't you, hay fever? It'd be nice to actually see a flower.
And so especially these garden
So it's all Monty Don's fault?
Yeah, they're very cross with him. Very cross with him.
What's he supposed to say? Go and spend your money on plants that may not make it through the remaining frosts. I mean, it's
It is crazy. It is crazy. But it must be a new experience for him because he has been an angel for millions of people, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And this story, which makes me extremely distressed, actually, for all sorts of reasons, is the Daily Mirror, with a huge picture of Liza Minnelli, apparently, allegedly, accused of having work done on her face with other
which
women.
Which she denies.
Which she denies. And other women.
Why does he make you angry? Can you run through your list of emotions?
Because you know, I'm an old woman, and I hate it when there is so much pressure on us to not age, to not look our age, and really quite demeaning portrayals of, and therefore we feel this need never to age and to do drastic things. And I really feel for these women. It's not stupidity.
You see, I take a slightly different view, which is that whilst I agree that women are encouraged to challenge the signs of ageing, not all, and I'm not suggesting Liza Minnelli has, but not all resort to drastic surgery. And what I worry about is that the more people, particularly celebrities who do go down the route of drastic surgery, the more that normalises drastic surgery. And if we're not careful, in 20 years' time, everybody is going to look like they were made from a various kiddie craft parts that were left on a playroom floor.
The majority, I read this a while ago, a majority of women beyond a certain age, and that age is very low now, it's about 35, if they could afford it, would do it. Yeah. And I think all these posters, I mean, you know, ugly old men haven't got this pressure on them.
You just look slightly different. Just change your eyeline.
It's the same pressure I have.
And you're not an old woman, Yasmin. I won't have that said on this show. We deal in truth. Thank you very much. Nicely done. After the break, we're asking if drugging tots on long-haul flights should be compulsory. Come on, it's not the end of the world, is it? And what about those mums who sedate kids, I don't know, of say 1, with a medicine that says on the packet that it's only safe for kids of 2 and over? Is that acceptable? 0207 173 5555. That's the number for your stories.